Okay, today we're going to discuss a scenario where we have two organizations that are closely related but have their own Zoom tenants. However, only one of these two organizations has Zoom rooms, and the other one would like to use those Zoom rooms. The way we can accomplish this is by using linked accounts in your Zoom portal and Workspace reservation. So let's talk through the scenario real quick. Company A and Company B may share the same physical location. They want to share resources like conference rooms, but all of those Zoom rooms are configured in Company A's account and tied to Company A's Google or Microsoft email platform and for calendaring. Company B isn't in that same email platform, and they're not in that same Zoom account. So how does Company B utilize those resources? How do they schedule their own Zoom meetings on those Zoom rooms and have one button to join? The way we accomplish this, as I mentioned, is with linking accounts. So inside the Zoom portal, you'll go to admin, account management, account profile. And if you scroll down, you'll see a section called linked accounts into an organization. The first company, will use Company A here, who has all the Zoom rooms, will want to create an organization. In this case, I created mine Spaces organization, and they're going to invite another account. In order to invite the account, they'll need to know the email address of the owner of that other account. So they'll enter that in there, and then that owner of that other account, so Company B, will receive an email and acknowledgement to join the organization. This will then make both of them show up. In my case, I have 3 different Zoom accounts here. They're all tied together into a single organization. Now, once that's done, through Workspace reservation, both Company A and Company B can share those resources, can book things on those calendars through our Workspaces app. So the next step is going to be setting up Workspace reservation. If they've not done this already, Company A will need to build out their location directory, how they manage their Zoom rooms today, get to a specific floor in the building in question, and upload a floor map, and then drag and drop all of their Zoom rooms onto that floor map. This is setting up Workspace reservation. There's other steps involved in terms of permissions and settings and activating and all that, but Company A must first build out Workspace reservation. Then all users in both companies A and B will be able to go to Workspace reservation in the client. I will add a quick disclaimer here. Company B also needs to set up Workspace reservation. At a bare minimum, they'll need one Workspace reservation license so they can turn it on and create a floor plan with nothing on it, essentially. Because now as an end user, when I come into Workspace reservation and go to my floor dropdown, I'll be able to see at the top here accounts. And you saw before I had 3 different linked accounts. So I can click between these different accounts to get to different floors in different buildings. In this case, A and B are in the same building, but the resources are all owned by Company A. So Company B, when they come in here, they may not have any floors built out, but Company A will. So they'll go into Company A. In this case, I'm going to go to Supergiant Mega here. And it's going to pull up all of their buildings and floors now. And we're going to come down here, and my good buddy Joe has a floor built out here. It looks very similar to mine. And we can see his available conference rooms, desks, etc. As an end user in B, I can reserve this because we're linked together. Now, I don't have access to send an invite to the Microsoft Exchange calendar resource for that room when working directly without Workspace reservation. But through Workspace reservation, because our accounts are linked, the command is sent through Zoom to be able to allow me, a user in Company A, or in Company B, sorry, to book a room in Company A. I can reserve that room. If it's like Joe has a little catering thing here, no lunch, skip that. Oh, I guess he needs to fix his logic there. There should have been a no, but we'll take mac and cheese for today. We'll fix that later. At this point, if a user in Company A were to go look at that conference room calendar, or if Joe were to go look at the scheduling panel in his office, as I know that's where this room resides, he would see Dan's meeting showing on there. And I could walk in there and start that meeting with one button to join, and it'd be my meeting, my host ID tied to my account, though running on a different account because we are linked together. It's a little confusing, definitely worth meeting with your Zoom account rep to work through some of the scenario here. There's no additional charges to do this. You just have to have Workspace reservation, and the 1 or 2 or more different companies need to be linked together as an organization in the Zoom portal.